In 2023, the Cheesecake Factory was trying to solve the ultimate restaurant problem. How do you satisfy a table of 6 people who all want completely different things? Their solution was brilliant on paper. Create a 250-item menu so overwhelming that literally everyone could find something they would actually eat. No more veto votes, no more compromise orders, no more hangry teenagers storming out of family dinner. It did not work. A 20-page menu was not built to last. The problem was not execution. The problem was identity. It looked like abundance, but it was paralysis. Those two do not coexist. For a moment, it worked. Not because the food was good, but because choosing felt like an adventure. This is not a story about bad menus, it is a story about decision fatigue disguised as choice. Once you see it, you will start noticing it everywhere. Well, today we are going to slice into the overwhelming rise and complicated present of the Cheesecake Factory. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Falling Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other restaurant empires you would like to hear about. Okay, time to navigate this literary novel of a menu. The story of the Cheesecake Factory begins not with a restaurant, but with a woman named Evelyn Overton and her basement kitchen in Detroit. It was 1972, and Evelyn had perfected something special. Cheesecakes that made local restaurant owners line up at her door. These were not just any cheesecakes. They were rich, dense slices of decadence that made you question your life choices in the best possible way. But making cheesecakes for other people's restaurants was not enough. In 1978, the Overton family packed up and headed west to Los Angeles, where Evelyn opened a modest bakery in Beverly Hills. Her cheesecakes quickly developed a local following, but it was her son David who saw something bigger on the horizon. He was not content with being a supplier. He wanted to build an empire with his mother's recipes as the foundation. That same year, David opened the very first The Cheesecake Factory restaurant just a few blocks from his mother's bakery. The original concept was refreshingly simple: to showcase Evelyn's legendary cheesecakes alongside a carefully curated menu of salads and sandwiches. The space was intimate, the menu was focused, and people could not get enough. From day one, David understood something profound about human psychology. People do not just crave good food, they crave the feeling of choice, of having options tailored specifically to their desires. So he began expanding the menu, not dramatically at first, just enough additions to make everyone feel special when they walked through the door. By the mid-1980s, the Cheesecake Factory had discovered its natural habitat, the American shopping mall. As these climate-controlled consumer cathedrals spread across suburban America, they needed anchor restaurants that could draw crowds and keep them lingering. The Cheesecake Factory offered something no other chain could, a dining experience that felt like an event. The restaurants grew larger, the decor became more extravagant. And the menu, it expanded at a pace that would make most restaurant consultants break out in hives. By the 1990s, David Overton had cracked what seemed like an unbeatable code. The menu wasn't just big, it was strategically overwhelming, reaching well beyond 200 items. This was not menu bloat. With that many options, the Cheesecake Factory became what industry experts now call a veto-proof destination. No matter how diverse the tastes at your table, the vegan sister, the carnivore brother, the gluten-free aunt, and the picky-eating cousin, everyone could find something. No single person could veto the restaurant choice because there was literally something for everyone. But the Cheesecake Factory was not just serving food, they were crafting theatre. The restaurants were massive, often exceeding 10,000 square feet. The decor was an intoxicating fever dream. Egyptian columns stood next to Art Deco lighting fixtures. French Rococo details clashed with vaguely Asian motifs, all bathed in a golden glow that made everyone look just a little bit better. It was intentionally disorienting, designed to make customers lose track of time and, more importantly, their budgetary constraints. Behind the scenes, something truly remarkable was happening. Unlike most chains that relied heavily on pre-made, reheated food, the Cheesecake Factory was preparing nearly everything from scratch, daily. Their prep kitchens were marvels of efficiency, with line cooks trained like surgical teams. The logistics would make Amazon executives jealous. They were pulling off what seemed impossible, artisanal food at industrial scale. By the year 2000, the Cheesecake Factory had positioned itself as accessible luxury for Middle America. Middle-class families could feel like royalty for the price of a movie night plus popcorn. The portions were not just generous, they were comically enormous. A single entree could feed a family of 4. A slice of cheesecake could satisfy a small office party. And somehow, it all worked. The company went public in 1992, and by the early 2000s, it was opening locations at a steady clip while maintaining profitability, a rare feat in restaurant expansion. But what goes up must eventually come down, especially when your core strength quietly transforms into your greatest weakness. By 2010, psychologists were studying a phenomenon called choice overload, the counterintuitive reality that too many options actually make people less satisfied with their eventual decisions. The Cheesecake Factory's sprawling 20-page menu was becoming a textbook case study in decision paralysis. Servers would routinely watch as tables flipped through the spiral-bound tomes like lost travelers consulting incomprehensible maps. "I need more time" became the most common phrase uttered to approaching staff. And when customers finally did order, there was often a lingering sense that they had made the wrong choice, that somewhere in those 20 pages was a better dish they had missed. Then came the Instagram revolution, changing everything about how people experienced restaurants. Suddenly, establishments needed to be photogenic, not just edible. The Cheesecake Factory's maximalist aesthetic, once novel and exciting, began to look dated next to the clean, minimal designs taking over Instagram feeds. Their caloric atom bombs that once signified indulgence started looking less celebratory and more concerning when displayed under hashtags like #CheatDay. The wellness movement hit casual dining like a tsunami. While competitors pivoted to ancient grains and plant-based proteins, Cheesecake Factory doubled down on 2,000-calorie pasta plates. They wore their excess like a badge of honor, but the culture was moving in a different direction. Their menu still listed skinny-licious options, but they felt like an afterthought, token gestures toward a health movement they were not fully embracing. The operational miracle that had made them special was becoming increasingly difficult to sustain. Training line cooks to handle 250-plus menu items required months of preparation. With high turnover in food service, a problem that predated but worsened after the pandemic, they were constantly retraining staff on increasingly complex systems. Quality began to suffer, with consistency becoming the biggest casualty. Then came 2020 and the COVID-19 pandemic, the perfect storm that exposed every weakness in the Cheesecake Factory's business model. Their massive dining rooms sat empty for months. Their complex menu could not easily translate to delivery. Who wants lukewarm fried macaroni and cheese bites delivered 45 minutes after they were prepared? The company temporarily closed 27 locations and laid off an astonishing 41,000 employees. In March 2020, they made headlines by informing landlords they would not be paying April rent, a drastic move that signaled just how dire their situation had become. The company that had seemed unstoppable was suddenly fighting for survival. Forced to streamline for delivery and takeout, the Cheesecake Factory faced an identity crisis. When they cut their menu to around 100 items for the pandemic, something unexpected happened. Customers seemed happier. Orders came out faster, quality improved, and decision-making became manageable. This accidental experiment revealed that their signature strength, overwhelming choice, might actually be their greatest weakness. Meanwhile, food bloggers and social media influencers started targeting the Cheesecake Factory's extreme portions. TikTok users made viral videos mocking 3,000-calorie salads and pasta dishes with more calories than some people consume in a day. What was once seen as generous value became a symbol of American excess and nutritional recklessness. The brand that had enthusiastically embraced gluttony suddenly found itself on the wrong side of cultural conversations about health and sustainability. The real estate problem became inescapable. Those massive mall anchor spaces that had once been their strength became financial anchors around their necks. Rent costs for restaurants with 10,000 or more square feet were crushing margins while foot traffic dwindled. Even as malls struggled to reinvent themselves, the Cheesecake Factory found itself trapped in a dying retail ecosystem. Staff training hit a breaking point. Preparing new employees to handle the sprawling menu was taking 6 to 8 weeks, an eternity in the high-turnover restaurant industry. Food quality became inconsistent as undertrained cooks struggled with the complexity. The operational miracle that had defined their golden era was becoming an operational nightmare. Today, the Cheesecake Factory operates about 200 locations, down from their peak but still a substantial presence in the American dining landscape. They have quietly streamlined operations, though they will never admit it publicly. The menu is still massive by any standard, but kitchen prep is more centralized and portions have subtly shrunk, though they are still large enough to provide tomorrow's lunch. In 2023, they began franchising for the first time in their 45-year history, a move that signals both adaptation and a certain desperation. The company that prided itself on maintaining tight quality control is now willing to put its name on restaurants operated by others. They are testing smaller format stores and simplified menus in international markets, tacitly acknowledging that their original model needs updating. They have invested heavily in delivery infrastructure, but physics works against them. A 15-layer chocolate cake does not travel well. Their signature abundance becomes a logistics nightmare when it has to survive a car ride. Dishes designed to wow on massive plates lose their impact when transferred to takeout containers. The Cheesecake Factory now occupies a peculiar cultural position. They have become something of a meme, shorthand for American excess and choice paralysis. They are simultaneously beloved and gently mocked, a symbol of everything both wonderful and problematic about casual dining in America. Their restaurants still draw crowds, but the crowds are aging. Younger diners increasingly view them as their parents' restaurant, a place for birthday dinners with the family rather than a destination of choice. What is fascinating is that through all of this, the Cheesecake Factory has remained profitable. Their stock has recovered from pandemic lows, and they continue to open new locations, albeit at a slower pace. They have survived where many competitors have failed, suggesting that there is enduring appeal to their particular brand of accessible excess. The Cheesecake Factory story is not really about restaurants. It's about the psychology of choice and the hidden costs of abundance. They built an empire on giving people everything they could possibly want, only to discover that everything is sometimes too much. In trying to please everyone, they created something singular, a dining experience that is simultaneously impressive and overwhelming, generous and excessive, beloved and ridiculed. So, what do you think? Did you ever get lost in that 20-page menu maze? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out some of these other videos from the Falling Food channel.